Welcome to Open Studio, where we put a spotlight on the arts, artists, and issues in the cultural community. I'm Tom Musgrave. My guest today is Soreyda Begley, president of Casa de la Cultura, Kentucky. We're going to talk about the organization as well as upcoming activities and programs and workshops they're involved in. So welcome, Soreyda.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Doing well. Good to have you here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about Casa de la Cultura, Kentucky. What's its mission and how does it work toward accomplishing that mission?
Okay, so Casa de la Cultura de Kentucky was founded in 2013 by Monica Calleja, who is originally from Mexico. And the mission of the organization basically is to provide opportunity for new generation of immigrants from Latin America, the opportunity to learn about our culture, our traditions, our food, our dances, just the whole spectrum of cultural identity, and to have, the opportunity to also present that culture to the Central Kentucky community. And the way we do that is mostly focused on traditional dances from Latin America. And then we perform festivals or different events here in the region. Additionally, we also have an embroidery club. They meet once a week and they make embroideries based on Latin American traditions from different countries. And the class is directed by a lady from Mexico. Her name is Doña Chari. And now we're expanding our services a little bit more. We also got approved by the Mexican consulate to do classes so people who didn't finish elementary school or high school in their own countries are able to complete that and get a certification. So hopefully they can advance their education even farther if they wish to. So we, have a little bit diversity in the programming we do, but mainly is dancing. And we currently have over 70 students that we're serving from different ages, from age 3 and up. We have adult groups, teenage groups, and every now and then we do also special workshops, like we're about to have a mariachi workshop for experienced musicians, so people who want to have that experience of being a part of a mariachi band can do that as well. And the mission of the organization is being mostly fulfilled. We still have a lot things that we would like to do due to funding limitations. We're not able to, but we're working on that, and that is what I come in to do, basically.
Now, I do want to talk about the events and workshops that you do, dig into that a little bit later, but you mentioned dancing. Do you go out to like other events that you're not hosting? Are you invited to other events to present the dancing?
Yes, we do. We are invited often to public schools, universities, and to many different festivals here in Lexington and Louisville and Georgetown and Berea, just all over the region. One of the events that we always participate in is at the Thriller Parade. So you will see us there during the Thriller Parade. And also the Latino Festival, even though Casa does not organize the festival, but we always participate. The Diversity Festival. And Mayfest, sometimes we also get invited to that. So it just, we are available for the community to include us if they wish us to invite us, and then we're available depending also the time, because most of our students are children, depending if whatever is a school night or if it is during the day, and they need to be transported, so sometimes their parents are not available. But if time allow us to participate, we're happy to represent and to send a group. We have 3 different groups. They're constantly practicing and able to perform, and so in any of these groups are available, we're happy to bring them over to have small presentations at different events.
Sounds like good educational opportunity for the general public to learn about dance and culture.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And it's, you know, visually stimulating as well. It's not
Mm,
just about the performance and the dance, but the wardrobe is always
yes.
stunning. We have some of the most gorgeous costumes. Monica, who selects the different costumes for the groups, makes sure that they're as closest to authentic that we can afford, because these wardrobes also are very expensive. But yeah, we have really beautiful wardrobe, and trying to bring everything from the countries of Latin America, so it's authentic and is well made, and it represents these cultures in a full and beautiful way.
Well, so you have recently been elected president
Hmm.
of the organization, and leadership. Each new leader brings their own experiences to the position. Do you have any goals as president?
Yeah, yeah, I do. And there, of course, the needs of the organization, things that because the constant work of being up there in the community and teaching, sometimes Monica is not able to put time into, and that is to focus on having a space, because the organization is growing, the community is growing, and we don't have our own space. So the main goal for me as newly elected president is to work very specifically on achieving the goal, having a space. And that is a big goal, but we need it. We're currently operating or having our classes at three different spaces. We have a huge number of costumes. They're packed very tight, which it shouldn't be, because that damage the material. And so we need a space where these costumes can breathe and, and relax.
Yes.
Um, and so that's my goal, is to be able to fundraise, so to form a coalition of people who need a space. I've been talking to some other groups in town, like the Bluegrass Silly, Bluegrass Juke Ballet, Shoaling Studio, Mecca, to see if we can collectively create a arts and culture space or center where we all can have the ability to do programming, perform, and collaborate, because within the ecosystem of arts and culture, collaboration is very important. Try to, do best use of resources, limited resources. And so that's my goal, is to use my experience and my network within the local arts and culture scene, to make this dream possible, to where Casa can have a casa, as and to be able to expand the services that we provide, because the Latin American culture, is so rich and so vibrant and so diverse as well, because over the past 13 years, Casa has been heavily focused on Mexican culture, because that's the majority of the population of immigrants here in town. But there's so many other cultures. I would love for us to also expand into culinary arts too, where we can teach children how to cook, traditional dishes from different countries in Latin America. So having a kitchen would be ideal. Also, how to make these costumes. I would love to be able to use my experience as a designer and a seamstress to teach children how to make these beautiful costumes that are being even lost sometimes in Latin America, because there's not so many people who are learning the skills. So there's so many things that we want to do, that due to not having space or resources we're not able to do, but we're working on it, and that's my commitment to dedicate the next few years to achieve those goals.
Well, you mentioned it briefly a moment ago, but I do want you to talk about yourself as an artist, because most people think organization president, they're just focused on that, but no, you're a practicing artist as well, correct?
Yes, yes. I have over 30 years of experiences as a dressmaker and in the past 25 years here in Lexington as a fashion designer. At some point, I was also the founder and director of a nonprofit organization that focuses on the fashion industry, the Lexington Fashion Collaborative. Um, and yeah, so my work has been mostly focused on clothing and fashion and designing. Um, and that's what I bring also to Casa, because we're a lot about wardrobe, because we perform in front of people. And so it's similar to fashion in a way, as you have to, consider the aesthetics, the functionality of the clothing, the practicality, the maintenance. And that's something that also I'm working on right now, is to develop an inventory of the hundreds of costumes that we have, do repairs. So it's includes a lot of this technical skills that I have as a designer, with the work that I'm going to do, or I'm doing with Casa right now. So having had that experience as an event organizer, as a designer, as a community organizer, is definitely key for my role within Casa right now as well.
Now, you mentioned before that the majority of the Hispanic community here in Central Kentucky is from Mexico, but also acknowledge that that's not true of the whole community. For instance, where are you from originally?
Okay, yeah, okay, that's important. Yes, the Latino Latinx community here is very diverse. There are people from pretty much every Latin American country, and I'm originally from Honduras myself, and I belong to ethnic group called the Garifunas, which is Afro-Latinos, people, who were brought to the Americas to be enslaved, and then they formed communities there. And I was born and raised in Honduras and moved here after getting married to a Kentuckian, and I've been here for 26 years. But there are people here from, Colombia. There are a lot of Colombians here. Mercedes Harn, who's also part of Casa's board, is from Peru, and we have board members from Guatemala, from Puerto Rico, Venezuela. And so, yeah, the community is very diverse and definitely expanding as well, where there's more representation from different countries. We also have a Peruvian group. It's called Raíces de Perú, and they perform in different events. So they have their own group that they practice traditional Peruvian dances. And that's what we like to do, is to have groups that represent all the different countries, or the people who come from those countries here in Lexington or in the Kentucky region.
How important is it for non-Latino, non-Latinx people to understand that there are, even though the community is connected by a common language, there are many different, the tapestry of culture is diverse?
I think it's very important because there's such a great opportunity to learn just the little things, like the style of food that we eat, the type of music that we listen to, the history of these countries. I mean, Latin American countries have just such an incredible history, which is most of the time connected to United States, that it has been direct involvement from companies, from politicians, from artists. There's always been this exchange with Latin America. It is very valuable to understand, the relationship between the political, economic, cultural changes that happen in the United States, like why people from Latin America coming here. And so I think it provides a broader understanding of systems when you get to know where somebody comes from, because the history of Honduras is very different to the history of Argentina, for example, and that explains what certain people look this way and why their food is this way. Like in Honduras, for example, we don't eat spicy at all. And when I first moved here, like when my husband's friends learned that I was from Latin America, they will invite us over and they will cook food that was very spicy. or was spicy by my standards
Yes.
then. And I couldn't enjoy it because, they assume, from Latin America, okay, so like spicy food. It's like, we do not eat spicy food in Honduras. And so it was very kind of them. Of course, they mean well, but this little detail, that will spoil the meal for me. Now I love spicy food. I learned to eat it because, with all my Mexican friends, and I absolutely love Mexican food. But yeah, so these little things that make it just more um, accessible. When you know the culture, it makes it just more accessible to build relationship with people from different places.
Well, thank you for illustrating it that way, because yeah, something as simple as a dinner party could be maybe not ruined, but thrown off kilter by the fact that you may not know the culinary tradition of a particular country.
Yeah.
So talk about some events and activities that you host in the community, and a little bit more about the workshops.
Okay. Yeah. So during the month of July, we're having the mariachi workshop, and will be directed by Genaro Rascon, which is a well-known mariachi performer and musician here in the region. He has a program, Master Station High School, where they have the mariachis, they perform, and so he will do a workshop. And then we have the Viva Mexico Festival on September 15, and we participate in the Latino Festival, which will be on September 19. And on August, we're also going to perform at the Diversity Festival. I believe it's August 9. It was moved from May because bad weather. And then we have Dia de los Muertos, which is an annual celebration that we do, and that is on November 1st, and it's one of our biggest festivals. So Viva Mexico on September 15, and then Dia de los Muertos on November 15. Those are staple events that we have every year. We also host a Mother's Day festival in May. On Mother's Day, that's very successful, very popular with the community. We also, at this event, we invite service providers from the community: health, immigration, education, all the different areas that are interested in connecting with the community, and they set up booths, informational booths, and provide information of what is they do and connect with the community as well. So, and the classes go. The dance classes go from February until November. So our last big event is the Dia de los Muertos, and we perform a lot and different events in around that time. Or we also do the Thriller Parade every year, which I don't know what day it's gonna be this year, but Make a Dance always invite us to be involved in that as well.
And these are all open to the public, correct?
Open to the public. Like the main work that we do with Casa right now is fundraise to be able to provide free programming for the community. That our biggest expense is basically the costumes, and also paying the instructors for the classes. But yeah, we are all our events are free for the community, and most of them are outdoors. Yeah, pretty much all of them actually are outdoor events where everybody can come and enjoy it and interact with the dancers and take pictures, because the costumes are always so beautiful. We do get to take a lot of pictures with the public, which is always very fun and enjoyable.
Imagine that's very popular.
Yes, yes.
I have seen those dresses, and yes, very vibrant, vibrant colors.
And the makeup and the hair, the Dia de los
Yes.
Muertos hair makeup is always spectacular. I participate with the group. I dance with the Catrinas, they're called, the group, the of women dancers for Dia de los Muertos, and I always make a new headdress every year, and every year gets bigger and bigger.
and I don't know how. I mean, some people may dismiss makeup as, oh, that's not art, but I have seen, and it is art. It is living art.
Absolutely.
So, where can people learn more about Casa de la Cultura?
Okay, so you can find us on social media, Facebook, Casa de la Cultura de Kentucky, and Instagram, and our website is casadelaculturaky.org. Yeah, just look us up, follow us, and contribute to our cause as well. Like I said, we're fundraising to have a space, so every dollar helps. Spread the word about what we do. Come to our events. Yeah, we'd love to connect with your audience and with anybody who's interested in being involved as well.
I'm glad you stopped by to visit with us today. I want to thank Soreyda Begley, president of Casa de la Cultura de Kentucky, for joining me today.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Listen to Open Studio every Friday during WUKY's Morning Edition and in the afternoon during All Things Considered. Or listen to extended segments at the Open Studio podcast, available at WUKY.org or wherever you get your podcasts. Do you have an idea for an Open Studio segment? We're always on the lookout for news and events in Central Kentucky's arts and cultural community. Email us at openstudiowuky@gmail.com or visit our Facebook page, keywords Open Studio on WUKY. Your idea may make it on the air. I'm Tom Musgrave. Thanks for listening to Open Studio on WUKY.